Hello, and welcome to this Graphghan tutorial on how we're going to take this graph and turn it into this blanket. I'm going to show you step by step on how to get started, how to do the color change, and in a previous video I showed how to do the clover stitch. This is the clover stitch, but when I did it, I am using a smaller hook so that it looks more like circles instead of just the clover stitch. The finished blanket for each one of these squares is about 1.25 inches to 1 3/8 inches. So you'll see that this square here is the same size here. This blanket, when completed, will be approximately 6 feet wide by probably 6.5 feet tall. So come join me and I'll show you how to take a graph and turn it into a different kind of a Graphghan stitch with the clover stitch. Come on, let's get started. So if you go to my Pinterest page, click on pins, you'll see some of the pins that I have saved. If you go back to the boards, I have one here called Crochet Graphs. Go ahead and click on that. And I have so many graphs. Now let me scroll down and see if I can find the flower one. I save everything that I think would be useful, but I saved one for the Graphghan that I'm going to be making. Let's see, how far down is it? Okay, well let me stop right now and I'll find it. I should have just kept the video rolling because here it is, right here. So you click on it. Here's the picture. Okay, and the reason why I chose this is if you look right here, that's how many pixels it is going across and up and down. Okay, so I'm going to use the clover stitch, which is similar to a yo-yo when completed. Now if you want to save this picture, right click and save image as, save it in there, and then you can print it out like I did. So after I printed the picture out, I wanted to have the colors turn into blue, so I went to Stitch Fiddle and I created the same drawing in Stitch Fiddle so that I can see what it would look like in blue and give it a border. So this is my finished size here, and so it's going to be 43 across and 49 high. Okay, and the second page right here is because it didn't print. Stitch Fiddle said it was too wide, and because of their borders they printed that on the second page. So trying to use this as a graph is, you can see how small it is and it's hard to read. So I went back to Stitch Fiddle and I printed it out on a 4-page graph. And as you can tell, you can see the colors, you can see the boxes a lot easier. So after having these 4 right here, I'm going to go ahead and cut on the line here and then overlap it to this one and do the same here. Let me get my scissors and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here I cut the edges away. Now I'm going to take this and overlap it, and then with tape I'll tape that together. Okay, so on this one I'm going to cut here so that this one can be like this, and then on this one I'm going to cut here so that can overlap here, and then cut here so that can overlap there, and that'll bring my flower together. Let me go ahead and do that and show you. And so here's what our finished picture looks like after cutting the edges. So let me show you what I've done. I got this one. Oh, I cut that one a little differently. And I got this one, and I have that. Now I wanted to show you what one block consists of. So if we draw out one block here, I'm going to draw an imaginary half of that block. When we do our crochet, we're going to be doing it in rows. But this one block is going to consist of two directions. So as we crochet, we're going to go this way, and then when we come back, we're going to finish that square going the opposite direction. Okay, and to give you a little bit better idea, when we come across here, okay, and this is part of our clover stitch. Okay, so this is going this direction. When we come back, we're going to finish it, the clover, so this equals this, which is this right here. So the hook that I'm using is a 3.75 millimeters. We will definitely need a pair of scissors, and you know I'm a big Red Heart Super Saver fan, so I'm going to start showing you the colors that I'm going to be using. I have royal blue, regular blue. For the darker color, I'm going soft navy, and for my lightest color, I have light blue. I will be using 3 shades of green. This one is hunter green, the other one is patty green, and the lightest color will be spring green. Now, you know I'm a Red Heart Super Saver fan, but I couldn't find enough of what I needed for my background color, so since I was at Michael's, I got their loops and threads impeccable because I was looking for the little change in the colors here. This one is called Aran Tweed, and I got 10 of these because they're so small, and the rest of them are just one of the Super Saver size. And these large clothespins, they're designed for hanging blankets on your clothesline if necessary, or for whatever use you want to use them for. These will be my bobbins to hold the yarn. I got these at the Dollar Tree. If you live in the United States, $1 a package. Since I have 7 colors, I'm just going to use the 7 bobbins to start off with, but I suggest if you go to the store, buy 2 or 3 packages. They'll be useful for you if you choose to do Graphghans of different stitches in the future. Since preparing for any project is always good to have things ready to go when you need them, we're going to go ahead and load up on these bobbins first. Of course, I wanted to see how my center pull yarn barf was going to turn out, and yes, I did find a knot. So all you have to do, take your thumb, place it on one, overlap it, and then just start wrapping. Put as much on there as you can. I'm going to keep on going, and I'm going to show you how full I fill mine's up. I'm not done yet, so hang on just a second. Alright, so this took a few minutes. So the end, you can squeeze this just a little bit and it will go in between and clamp it. See? So it's not going to go nowhere. And then just leave a tail. And this is 1 bobbin ready for you to use. I suggest doing 1 for every color. That way we can get started, and let's move on to the next step after that. So here you see I have 1 of every color that I need on a bobbin, but we will not use our bobbins until we get into more of the pattern. So I'm going to start with my skein. Let's go. I'm going to be starting with my white color. My first row is all white squares, and there is 43 across for my pattern. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you how to do 1 row of blocks. So to begin, let's start with a short tail and a slip knot on our hook. Let's chain 4. Slip stitch into the first chain, chain 3. Now into the center of our ring, we're going to place a double crochet, and a second double crochet. Let's slide our work over, chain 2, and then single crochet into the ring. Alright, this is our left petal. Let's make the right bottom petal. Chain 2, 3 double crochet into the ring. Slide our work till we have half of it showing. This is our right side, and this is our left side, and this is the bottom portion of the row for 1 block. Okay, remember we'll be doing the other side when we go this direction here. Okay, so let's move on to the next lower block. We're going to chain 3 and pinch the top of that last chain. Chain 4, this will be our ring for the center. slip stitch into that first of the 4 we did. Okay, now we're going to slip stitch 3 times. I was pinching my yarn there. 1, 2, and 3. And that'll take us back to the height that we need. So bring your yarn over the top, yarn over. We need to find the center of our ring. We're going to finish that double crochet. Here's 1, one more double crochet, and bring everything to where we started. Chain 2 and single crochet into our ring. So here we have, you can see this is the left side like this one. Now we're going to do the right side. Chain 2, 3 double crochets into the ring. Okay, so here we have 2 sets. I'm going to show you one more time, and then you can go ahead and do however many you need. I need 43 of these across for my first row. So chain 3, pinch the top of that chain 3, chain 4, slip stitch into the first of the 4. You'll notice that with your thumb there, it helps you to find that first one real quick. So we're going to slip stitch 3 times. Okay, turn our work, yarn over. Let's find the center of our chain 4 ring. Now, if you followed on my page or my channel, you'll know that I have the Clover flower stitch along, which goes into better depth of making this. Okay, so now we got chain 2, single crochet into our ring, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets. So I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and do however many you need for your first row, but be 1 short. So when you get to this part, don't finish it all the way. I'll show you how to finish that last one. Okay, so here I have 3. I got 40 more to do. I'll see you in just a few minutes. Well, that took some time, didn't it? So here I am. This is number 43, and I'm going to show you how to finish this and then start your way back. So we have our left side done. Now we got chain 2 for the right one. So we're going to place 2 double crochets, not the 3 like we've been doing all along. And want to slide it over so we still have enough to put our rings here on top. Okay, so to finish this right side, we're going to chain 2, single crochet. Okay, slide it over. So now we've officially finished the end of this row. So now let's just start our way back. Chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Okay, slide it over because we're going to place some more in here. So chain 2, and then we're going to place in 3 double crochet here. Okay, so that finishes that right there. Okay, now to kind of tie everything in right here, I'm going to go ahead and do a single crochet to bring everything together here. See how it pulls it all in? It kind of looks like a yo-yo because of how small it is. All right, now directly from the single crochet, we're going to do 3 double crochets into the next chain 4 ring. This will start our petal for the other side, or the next block here. Okay, slide it over. Now to bring the 4th side down, chain 2, single crochet. Okay, so we have 1 completed there, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. You're gonna love this row, trust me. It'll go by quick. Now the first row, these are what I call the first row, and then the second row. The first row, once we start up here on the next block, will be your little bit of time consuming row, but this row 2 will always be the same. The only difference is when we have to change our colors. Now another thing too, you want to make sure that this is not twisted. You want to make sure that the right side is facing you. So we've placed our 3 double crochets. Let's single crochet between the 2, and if you notice, I try to tighten my yarn so that it's snug right in there, and then right into 3 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2. Let's slide these guys over. Okay, and 3 double crochet. And then to finish it off, the single crochet between the 2 clover stitches. So if you do that all the way across, I'll meet you at the end of the row. Where I'll show you how to do color changes. So continue on. I'll meet you there. At the end of our first row, this will be for the left top side here. We finished with our single crochet. Let's chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then single crochet into the ring. Okay, I am going to cut my yarn and weave in my N. I will do this for every row because I don't want to have a slip stitch and an odd start here on the end. Now if you've watched how I did my clover leaf, my clover flower stitch on the other video, you will see how I attached it and then started here and worked across and then come around. I'm not going to go to that confusing route. I'm trying to keep this simple so that it'll all look really nice in the long run. So let's get started for our second row of blocks. We're going to start with our lower row, so we're going to start here with one color and into a color change. Let's get our colors out. So for my second row, if you're using the same picture that I have here, I will start off with 1, and then it'll be 41 across, and then 1 on the end. Now this is where we're going to start using our bobbins. Okay, so here I have 1 ready to go, so I can pull some off here. I'm going to start with a small tail, place a slip knot on my hook. I'm going to start with a chain of 4. Now take note that this will be how each row will begin. And then slip stitch into that first chain 3, double crochet into the ring, and you can carry your tail around. So here we got 1 and 2. All right, so before we move on, we want to take our loop here and bring it through the top of the chain 2. So we'll take our hook and go through the top of that chain there, pull our loop through. We want to enlarge it just a little bit, so that way it'll still lay flat instead of being all bunched up. So that first chain will be a little longer, and it's okay. So we chained 1 and 2, single crochet into our ring, all right. So now we also got our second one right here. So let's chain 2 and make this loop a little bit longer. So on the top of the second chain 2, insert your hook, pull it through, make sure you get all the strands, not like I did. Okay, and then make your loop just a little bit longer. So now we're going to be placing 3 double crochet into the chain 4 space. So here's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you can see how this is our lower half of the block, and we're going to end up with this on the way back. So now we need to change our yarn. So I'm going to pull out from my skein, okay, now if you want it to look a little bit different, let's get back to the last 2 parts here, and then we're going to take the small section here, pull it through, and then tighten the yarn up here, and then chain 3, and then chain 4. Slip stitch into that first. So it's basically doing the exact same thing on the first row, except you're picking up at these 2 chains. Now originally I had planned on doing a yo-yo, but a yo-yo only has 1 connect. What I liked about this is that it had 2 connects, which gave it a more solid look and feel. So here we slip stitched our ring closed. Okay, now here we're going to go back so we can take our tail, bring it over. Whoops, I guess I should have went under here. There we go, under the hook, and then pulled it through. There's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now when we place our double crochets, we're going to crochet over this. So bring your yarn over the top and turn your work. And I know with this darker color it might be a little harder to see, but I think we'll be fine because it's the same thing we did on our first row. So double crochet 2 times. 1, 2. Okay, bring your little loop out. And remember, the loop is going to be the center portion. So here, let me bring this around so you can see. Now I'm going to insert my hook right here into that chain 2. And pull the loop through. Remember to make it a little bit larger. Then I'm going to chain 2, single crochet into the ring, chain 2, make your loop a little bit larger again, and into the next chain 2. And then pull it through. All right. So the next thing we do, you remember? That's right, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. And I was trying to make everything so right, I forgot to take my tail under. Okay, so hopefully you remember to take your tail under. By crocheting your tail under, it'll make it so you have less weaving in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And this is how I do it. I go under once, and then I go over the top stitch and go through the center again and pull it through. Since I didn't have much yarn to play with. Okay, and then stretch it out, make sure you have enough, and then cut off your excess. And here we started onto our next color. Okay, so continue with the if you're following my pattern, continue with the color across. This is our inner border, and I will meet you at the end of the row. Or basically, you already know what to do now for the whole pattern. But I will touch base with you as we do this. I'll see you progressively as I make this along. And if I have any other suggestions and tips, that's what we're going to do. But I'm going to show you how to finish this row. You just need to continue on with what you did here all the way across, and then I'll show you how to bring your colors back. See you in a few minutes. So I've completed here, and I have this one block left. So as you can see here, I've completed, and I have the one block left. I have my bobbin, so I'm going to go ahead and attach it just like I did on the other end. Let me bring my camera up closer and I'll show you what to do again. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take out these last two parts of that double crochet. And then I'm going to go ahead and change my color. You want a nice sized tail, so that way you can carry it with you and weave it in. So I'm going to take some of this off of my bobbin. Chain 3. Okay, and then pinch the top. Chain 4. And then slip stitch into the first of the 4. Okay, now this is where I'm going to go ahead and bring my tail back as well, so that we can incorporate it into the slip stitch of the chain 3 here. So okay, so I got that one. There's 2, and then there's 3. Okay, and we're going to turn. Now you want to bring your tail, find your center first, and then your tail will be wrapped up with your stitching that you'll do on this. So here we got 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet. Remember to pull up our loop, okay, in that chain 2 space, pull that loop through. Oops. And snug it up a little. Chain 2. Single crochet, chain 2, make that loop a little larger into that chain 2 space. This is the end of the row, so we're going to do 2 double crochets, okay, and then pull all that around, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, and I'm still working over my tail, 2 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, one, two, and 3. Okay, now we still have to do our single crochet here, and I'm going to do mine in white because that's part of the next thing. So we're going to go under, pull up a loop, and snug it up some. Then with our blue, because that's where we left off, we're going to finish it. Alright, and then do 3 double crochet, oops, hang on a second now, somewhere I didn't pull my yarn back. I make mistakes too. Okay, so this should stay here in the back. Okay, so that's what we want to do. We want to go in front. See how we bring it in front of the blue here? Okay, and then we push it to the back again. And then 3 double crochet in blue. Chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. And that'll get us going all the way to the end of the row. Okay, I got one more. All right, and then I got my single crochet. Okay, so we got a nice finish here. Okay, now I have mine on bobbins, so this I'll wind up and then clamp it, and that'll stay there until I'm done and knead it again. Okay, and this is what it looks like in the back. All right, so the next row, this will be a blue. I'll finish this row in blue, and then the one coming back will have the white, and then this will be blue, and this will be white, just like our graph here. Okay, so I've shown you pretty much everything that we need to do here. So once I get back here and finish this row, the next row will just be 1, 1, and then count all the way across in white, 1 and 1, and then come all the way back. So every time you start your row, you'll start from the left here, and then you'll finish your row going back to the left. So like when we come up here, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 whites, 1 green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 white, 1 green, and the rest follows. Okay, I think you'll be able to do this just fine. I will show you periodically how it looks. And until we see each other again, take your time and you'll be just fine.